In 2016, the UK voted to leave the European Union. It was branded as taking back control. Control of laws, borders, and money. But nearly a decade later, more and more Brits are asking one question that once seemed taboo. Was Brexit a mistake? Recent polls show almost 60% of the population now believe leaving the EU was the wrong decision. It's not just London talking. Even in places like Sunderland and Blackpool, where Leave dominated, regret is setting in. Not because of politics, it's because of reality. Businesses are collapsing under customs paperwork. Cheesemaker in Somerset had to shut down after EU orders dried up overnight. Fishermen in Cornwall say they've been sold out. Hospitality managers in London report major staffing shortages since the free movement of workers ended. That's not theory. That's payroll and empty rotas. The UK economy is now the only G7 economy still smaller than before the pandemic. Inflation hit harder and stuck around longer. Promised NHS boost, nowhere. The so-called oven-ready trade deals. It's underwhelming or still on ice. The US deal? Dead. The Australia deal? British farmers say they lost more than they gained. Even Nigel Farage, the face of the entire Brexit movement, recently admitted that Brexit has failed economically. Let that sink in. The man who campaigned hardest for it says it didn't work. And that's not coming from a political opponent. That's straight from the source. Brexit didn't just change trade. It changed identity. Britain always saw itself as a bridge between Europe and the rest of the world. But now it feels like we're on an island in more ways than one, isolated in negotiations. Less influential in global decisions. Out of the room when key economic policies are being shaped, young people who voted overwhelmingly to remain have lost the automatic right to live, study, or work across 27 countries. That's a generation paying the price for a decision they mostly didn't want. Northern Ireland is still dealing with political instability over the trade border in the Irish Sea. Companies don't know whether to base themselves in Belfast or Berlin. Investors are cautious. Uncertainty is expensive. Brexit was never just about trade. It was emotional, a reaction to years of frustration, inequality, and feeling ignored by the political elite. But the fix hasn't delivered what people were promised. And now the country is divided not just by opinion, but by experience. Some are quietly asking if rejoining is even possible. Others say the damage is done, and all that's left is to adapt. But the one thing more people agree on is this: what was promised and what was delivered are not the same. And for many, the consequences are still unfolding.